Director John Barry, or Jack as he was known to friends and colleagues, was born Jak Jold, son of Polish-Romanian immigrants who'd settled in New York. His father started as a waiter and earned his way to owning 28 restaurants in Manhattan before being wiped out in the Great Depression and ending up waiting tables once more. His son Jack knocked around at a variety of jobs, including professional prizefighter and vaudeville comic, until landing work as both actor and stage manager with Orson Welles' Mercury Theater. In 1942, he helped Welles mount his legendary stage production of Richard Wright's Native Son. And it was Welles' colleague John Houseman, having settled permanently in Hollywood, who gave Barry his first directing jobs in the B Unit at Paramount. Barry was soon directing such big stars as Veronica Lake, Joan Fontaine, and Betty Hutton. But before long, The Witch Hunt put a noose around his career. Tension was one of the last American films he'd direct before being blacklisted in Hollywood as an alleged communist. The picture that caused him the most trouble wasn't Miss Susie Slagle's or From This Day Forward or Cross My Heart. It was a 16mm documentary he directed in which members of the Hollywood 10 delivered for the historical record the statements they'd been forbidden to read in their appearances before the House Committee on Un-American Activities. It was fellow director Edward Dmytryk who eventually gave up Barry's name to the authorities, effectively saving his career while ruining Barry's. But Jack Barry didn't quit. As befits a man who was a boxer in his teens, he continued to fight, moving to Europe to make films like his exiled compatriots Joseph Losey, Jules Dassin, and Cyril Enfield. The same year he made his last Hollywood movie, Barry directed, without screen credit, a French-Italian co-production called Utopia, the final film of the legendary comedy duo Laurel and Hardy. He made 6 films in France during the 50s, culminating with 1958's critically acclaimed Tamango, about a slave ship revolt. The film was banned for 3 years in the US for depicting an interracial affair between stars Dorothy Dandridge and Kurt Jurgens. Once the blacklist was broken, Barry occasionally returned to America. He directed Diane Carroll to an Oscar nomination in the 1974 film Claudine and wrangled a bunch of all-American kids in The Bad News Bears Go to Japan. Barry also had a featured role in Bertrand Tavernier's fabulous jazz noir Round Midnight. Despite all his tribulations, Barry declared shortly before his death in 1999 that he wouldn't change a single thing in his incredible life story. Our viewer question this week comes from Harry Hawthorne, who wants to know which actress could be considered the best of the bad girls. Well, Harry, Audrey Totter will obviously get some votes after this performance, and there are some big stars who were memorable in singular turns, like Ava Gardner in The Killers and Rita Hayworth in Lady from Shanghai. But if I had to choose one actress who was always reliably desirable and dangerous in equal measure, I'm picking Marie Windsor, who considered herself the queen of the bees. At the time, she may have bristled at being typecast as the other woman in films such as Force of Evil, The Narrow Margin, and The Killing, but in the end, it was those roles that made her a legend among film noir fans. Marie was, without question, the most alluring and intimidating femme fatale in noir. Okay, that'll do it for this week's Noir Alley. And remember, if you need more noir over the next week, follow @Noir Alley on Facebook and Twitter. Get your noir fix. Next time, I'll have an underrated film from the great Fritz Lang, one with a surprising feminist slant. Until then, don't stretch yourself too thin.